Eyup, cock. EFL review for the final time this season. I've got a little bit of everything in this. A bit of Championship, a bit of League One, and a little bit of League Two. Just to cover everything that's happened on last day of season. And there's a fair few in Championship, to be fair. We've got Bristol City 2, Preston 2 to kickstarters. The way that this went, I just don't even know anymore. Like, Preston were 2-0 up, as you can see, on our mark, and then Bristol City brought it back to get a draw and ended up getting in there on last day. Now, it's only when you go back and, like, have hindsight, wonderful thing in it, that you can say, well, Bristol City could have just easily lost this and got in anyway, because Blackburn didn't win and Millwall didn't win, which meant that Bristol City could have lost and they'd have still finished 6th regardless. So they're in playoffs, Bristol City, for the first time in, it's either a long time or maybe ever. I don't think it is ever. I think they've been in before. But it's been a number of years since Bristol City were in playoffs at Championship. They did pitch invade, and they've probably bust a bit too early, to be honest. But still, they've got Sheffield United in playoffs. This was fixture like last month, I think, maybe 2 months ago. Sheffield United, Bristol City at Sheffield United. I think it might have been a draw, but I thought Bristol City put up a good show. I'm not going to speak too much about what I think because I'm going to do a video on all Championship predictions and league, all the like playoff predictions. I'm going to do separate videos for, so I'm not going to speak about that too much. But Bristol City are in there on last day, and Preston. Again, they could have lost and they'd have stayed up regardless, but you don't know that until end year, because a lot of these sides were just all crap, realistically, yesterday, or today, because I'm filming it right after my stream's done. I think this is the fairy tale ending for these two, to be honest. The mid-table forever. Bristol City have got a chance to leave, but Preston are at least here for next time. They've not been sent to pits of hell wheels. They're still in Championship, and Bristol City have got a chance to do one better in playoffs. Good on them, Bristol City. New side that might do something. Good luck to them. Burnley 3, Millwall 1. Mate, there's a lot going on here. Again, Millwall 1-0 up. Fairly early doors. 11th minute, Ivanovic. Oh, mate, that guy's a player. He's such a good forward, that lad. But they had the lead for about 16 game seconds because they took it straight from, literally straight from kickoff. Launched it down line, it's won. It's some absolute bollocks goal that you normally see Millwall score. Like 18 deflections and it just bounces for him. Stupid as out. But Brownhill scored to equalise. Brownhill scored again. He has finished the season as, I believe, the second top goal scorer in division. 18 goals, 6 assists. That's a great effort, mate. That is a great effort. And Ivanovic got 12 for Millwall and all player. Once again, it's not to be for Millwall. They did have a massive, massive chance to go 2-1 up. It was 1-1 at time, and Coburn had an actual tap in that I think I could have scored with my eyes shut and one leg. Yeah, absolute sitter that he missed. But at the same time, it's very unlucky with fixture timing for Millwall because they've gone to hardest placed in league on last day. They've gone unbeaten all season at home, Burnley. They've got 100 points. They've only lost out on league title and goal difference. They're no mugs. You know what I mean? They're a very good side, Burnley, and I think they'll put up a better fight in Premier League than they did last time. Still, inevitably come down, like 100% they get relegated, but still. And it's just another year being a little bit too far away from Millwall. I do think that Tanganga will leave, but as long as they keep Ivanovic and invest money well, like they have been doing, after SA sales and Fleming, they will get money for him from Burnley as well. Millwall could take advantage of a really poor league next season. And I'm not just saying that because I like them. I think Millwall next year could genuinely be onto something proper. I really do. Good luck to him. And one last time, Mill. See you next year. Also, I don't know if anybody saw over a week when I went to Luton Orient, the flag that I posted on Twitter. Well, FC Stickers have sent me 500 of them. Look, 500. So, coming to a town near you, I might have to blur these, but... So, if you want to get some for your send, or if you support any other sides, because they do Alt 92, Alt National League, Alt National League North and South. If you support any little tin pot sides like Wednesday, there's something for you there. Got loads of different designs as well, so you can mix and match them if you want to. And also, you hear that? Good quality, not some little paper ones that just rip. They're actually good. I'll put the link at the top of the description, but if you type in FC Stickers on the internet, then it'll come up. It's either fcstickers.com or .co.uk. Either one takes you to the same place. I want to say thank you again to them for sponsoring this and for giving me 500 of these bad boys. But yeah, thank you again, and we'll get on with video. Coventry 2, Middlesbrough 0. Rodoni, speaking about Josh Brownhill, right, and getting a lot of plaudits, and rightfully so. Second top goal scorer from midfield, mate. There's not to be laughed at that. Let's have a look. Where are we? Jack Rodoni, 9 goals, 12 assists from midfield. Baller. Absolute bargain. I think about 5 million quid from Huddersfield. I can't remember where Huddersfield got him from. Instinct and memory does tell me Lincoln, but that might be wrong. Coventry are in a little bit of a bomb scare last 2 games because they lost them both to Luton, who were relegated, and Plymouth, who were relegated, but we'll come on to that in a bit. This is my main focus on this. I can't help it to be mainly on Middlesbrough's shortcomings and failure of a season rather than Coventry doing well. Coventry are going to play Sunderland in playoffs, and Sunderland, as we're going to look at soon, horrendous side. I'm not going to lie to you. Shit. Honestly, shit. And managed so poorly. But Coventry are in there, and they've done well to do so. Very good squad. Serious chance with Lampshade. Middlesbrough, though, sack Carrick now. Just sack him, mate. What you playing at? If he, honestly, I'm expecting a statement. I'm expecting to go on Twitter tomorrow morning, or this morning at the time that I'm posting this, and see a corner flag with Middlesbrough's badge on it. He's got to be sacked. He's got to be. It's such a failure not getting this squad in top 6. Bristol City are in top 6. Bristol City. No disrespect to Bristol City. Done really well. Good on him. But the Middlesbrough squad is twice as good as this one. Such a failure from Carrick. Can they be up and around it next year? Yeah. Will they be with Carrick? Probably. But will they actually get up at line with Carrick? No. No, the way that they need a fresh face. They need a new start. Got a really good core squad there. Make some serious investments because Middlesbrough aren't shy with money. They've got good attendances. They make good money. Why wouldn't you spend it? Honestly, get a decent gaffer in. The Inter's naive defensively, and Middlesbrough could do it next year. Another one, same as Millwall, not far off being a very good side. And especially because I think this league next year is going to be absolutely doggers, mate. So, Middlesbrough have got a chance. Coventry, not going to speak too much about Championship players because I'm going to do a video on it. Derby and Stoke have drawn 0-0. I can't believe I didn't put loads of money on that. I knew it'd be a draw. It was always going to be a draw. Apparently, Derby missed like quite a big chance late on. They were never, I'm telling you, this was never going to be an high scorer. These two set out for draw before they even got up bus, Stoke. 100%. Eustace and Mark Robbins have been on blow with each other at night before. I'm telling you. Yeah, don't repeat this, bro, but we're not having one shot all game, I promise you. We're going to play 6 at back, just pass it around all game. What if Luton win? No, I think we'll be alright. I think we'll just pass it around back, honestly, and that's it. We'll be alright. Norwich 4, Cardiff 2. Plymouth 1, Leeds 2. These are title winners, ladies and gentlemen. Leeds. Let's give them a round of applause. Moving on. Plymouth obviously relegated. They weren't before game, but they were. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones. It's like a 1 in a 10 trillion chance that they got out. They needed like a 15-goal swing. It just, respectfully, it weren't happening. They're up to title winners. Leeds have done well. They might have a remote chance of staying up, but they need to sack the manager and spend 200 million quid in Premier League to just finish 4th bottom. They need 40 points. I don't think they'll get it. But yeah, congrats, lads. Plymouth, good effort at end. Honestly, really good effort. Unlucky with the Rooney card that they were dealt by higher ups, but that's a serious go at it, that is. And as for next season, it's too early to look at like your ins and outs and stuff like that and players that might end up leaving. You are going to have to make some sales because the drop in money from Championship to League One is a lot. Your attendances will go down. You know what? It's natural, lads. Just get in line. It happens to us all. But I do think Plymouth next season could very, very easily bounce back if they keep the manager. But I also think that that's going to be the hardest thing that they could possibly do. There's going to be a lot of sides in this division that are losing managers or have already got a managerial spot open. Same as I said about Cifuentes at QPR because he's in the same boat, he's leaving. There's going to be much bigger clubs with much bigger wallets that are going to come after your manager. Whether you can keep is a different thing. I don't think Plymouth will, but if they do, I'd be very, very confident of them coming straight back up quite easily, probably. However, I don't think they will. So, top 6, maybe, but it's not a walk in park like it once were. It's a crap league, don't get me wrong, but it's not as easy as it once was, League One to get out of. Next up, Portsmouth and Hull. The timing of all this happening were wild, mate, honestly. Hull were 1-0 up in 18th minute, and then Portsmouth equalised at 55th. At this point, we'll come to Luton at end, but Luton lost, right? Let's just put it out there. Luton obviously relegated. If Hull would have lost this game, regardless of what Luton had done, then Hull would have got relegated. They've stayed up on goal difference, and honestly, I'm going to say that's down to Ruben Sellers because defensively they are so much better than they were pre-Sellers. It's night and day the defensive record after. Last 20-odd games since he's come in, the 9th in league, they've only conceded 18 goals. Mate, he's a very, very good manager. And Hull, but while I think they've been lucky that some sides are as crap as they are, 49 points to stay up on is quite an high tally. It's not 50 like last year where we were Birmingham. But 49 points and still getting relegated, that is tough for Luton. That is tough luck. They're never boring, are they? Like, Hull out won more recently in years. They're not just going to go and sit in 14th, are they? So I'd expect him to be either in and around this fight or probably like 8th next year. I ain't got a clue him. And as for Portsmouth, obviously they had no top line today, but the home record still remains intact. That is very, very good. I don't think they'll be coming down for a long time. And it's 2nd year in a row that all 3 teams have gone up from League One to Championship and all stayed up. Portsmouth in 16th, Oxford in 17th, and Derby in 20th have all survived. Sheffield United won, Blackburn won. Blackburn were 1-0 up as well, but they didn't last for very long. And if they'd have won that game, they'd have been in there. It's disgusting when you think about it. When you start deep in it, mate, it's horrible. When you think about the what-ifs and stuff like that. At one point, they were up in 6th for Blackburn, and they'd have got in on goal difference if they'd have won and all. Oh, God, Bristol City, man. They must have been watching this coming at end. Oh, no. They'd have no fingers left. Good effort. Honestly, good effort. I think John Eustace has done a very good job to have him in and around this position all year. I also think that Ismail has equally done a very good job since he's come in. I'm not having any slander on Ismail. I'm actually not. They've not played that well here. But Sheffield United apparently, like, from what I've seen and what I've heard, because obviously I didn't watch it at the time, they've apparently played really good, Sheffield United, and it could have been a fairly comfortable win for him. Not that it meant anything for him. But this squad's doggers. Blackburn's squad is absolutely crap, realistically, for Championship. So bottom six squad with ease, and Ismail giving him a really, really good chance at end. Like, no losses in 6, 4 wins in a row and 2 draws. Unlucky. Honestly, really good effort. I think they'll be like bottom half next season because I can't see Ismail getting investment from Eyup that they'll need realistically to finish into playoffs. But they've had a good effort there, and I think he's a good manager. And one day people will realise Ismail. Sunderland 0 QPR 1. I'll talk about you in the playoff video, kid. Swansea 3-piece with Oxford, don't care. Watford 1, Wednesday 1. I don't care, but at the same time, I hope Wednesday fans got to say goodbye to Danny Roll and to Windass and all the best players, because next year you're getting relegated. West Brom 5, Luton 3. Oh my God. Like I said, Luton are relegated. Luton are in League One next season. I think they're in a good spot to come straight back up. I will just say that straight off bat. But speaking about this game, West Brom went 1-0 up. I think this one at first goals of importance in Championship at half 12. Tom Fellows put 1-0 up. Luton equalised fairly quickly afterwards, but then that quick fire double, mate, with DK, by the way, good man, love him. DK and Fellows getting 2 quick time is what realistically killed them. Getting 2 in before half time. Then word spread around all grounds, and that's what definitely made Derby and Stoke stop playing, actually. Styles got 2 late on, and then 2 very late goals again from Clark and Eyup, which never really gave him a chance of getting back into the game anyway. So Luton were relying massively on Portsmouth to do him a favour, which they never did, at home to Hull. If you go and look back at my Championship predictions, I said Luton had finished last, so I got this perfect. The recruitment's crap. Like, not to be too harsh, but it is. It's garbage. The recruitment's terrible, and it weren't summer. The January ones, like, were sticking plasters of it Grand Canyon, you know what I mean? Like, you're trying to fix this massive mess that you've started in January. They had a £7 million net spend in summer. £7 million, that's it. That is probably less than what West Brom had, or along the same sort of lines. Luton have just come down for a Premier League. Where is the money? I know they're going to put a lot into the stadium that's going to take it to 25k, but it's going to have 15,000 empty seats if you keep making recruitment that you are doing, because that is terrible. That is, for a side that's just come down for Premier League, to feel that on your last day, needing to win to stay up, that's disgusting. That's disgusting! This left-hand side's absolutely dog shit. And they're relying on old guard, aren't they? A lot of time to try and keep them up. Clark from midfield. Literally a midfielder that no one ever, like, looks or thinks twice. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, he's just there, Clark. And he's got 6 goals, 6 assists. So, there's just a lot of Robert Page shite on this team for Luton. They need to cut a lot of it. Honestly, they need to get rid of a load of this team. They've still got tens and tens of millions of pounds from Premier League. So if they spend even like a smidge of that and tidy this squad up a little bit, it's not an hard league to get out if you actually spend a little bit of Brass League One. And I'm not saying Birmingham money or even Wrexham or Huddersfield money that they've spent this season. Stockport have spent about 10 bob and they're going into playoffs. So it doesn't take a lot of money to do it, but if you've got a little bit, just chuck a couple of million quid at it. All it needs is like 2-3 million quid, just chuck it in right areas. Light work, you'll get promoted straight away. I do think they're in a very good position to come back up, and especially Bloomfield in charge. I don't really know what Luton fans are expecting. If you're blaming Bloomfield, just take a step back for 5 minutes and look at the mess that he inherited. And the fact that he gave you even a remote fighting chance at staying up in first place. Last 15 games, you'd be 10th. Last 20 games, you'd have stayed up. Last 25 games, you'd have stayed. Like, again, dealt a really poor hand, and I think he had a serious effort, mate, Bloomfield. To keep him, you see what Wickham have done before and after. You had Wickham above Birmingham, who've gone and broken EFL points record with 111 points. No one will beat that, ever. He had Wickham above that side before he went to Luton. Like, I'm sorry, give the man a bit of time, especially in League One. You'll be up in no time, Luton. I'm just hoping it's like last time that Barnes and Luton were in this league. And you're not going to win league because yours truly are inevitably going to win league with 100 points. But you can have second this time. We'll swap round. But looking at the final table, Cardiff, dead last. Plymouth obviously going down with him as well, and Luton. That means Cardiff, Plymouth and Luton are going to be playing League One football next season. Ranked on likelihood of coming straight back up, I would say Cardiff are last. I think they're in a big old mess. I don't think that striker will be playing in League One. I don't think number 10, that Man City lad, will be playing in League One. I don't think at right back, I don't think he'll be playing in League One. I think they've got a lot of overpaid shite on humongous wages that need to be cut. Yeah, I think Cardiff might be like an Huddersfield next season. I think they might come down with expectation and like pissing it and finish outside of playoffs. I don't think Cardiff have got a chance. Plymouth, I think, relies completely on the manager, which I don't think he'll be there. So I could see him maybe scraping top 6 at a push. Luton, I think, are an auto chaser straight away. Without even knowing all 24 teams that are in it yet, or anybody's transfer business or anything. I'd have Luton as a very heavy favourite before it's even started. Which means Hull, Preston, Derby, Stoke have all narrowly survived. And I would say anything from Hull to Sheff Wednesday looking at next season. Be happy you've stayed up, okay? Short term. Have a couple of drinks tonight. Yeah. Championship next season. Whoop, whoop. Next season, one of you's coming down. 2 of you at least are coming down. Because Birmingham and Wrexham are coming up. Going to spend more than anybody on this list. And are definitely finishing above you. So if you've got some... like maybe your manager's going to be sought afterwards, or you've got a really shit team or a really crap owner, I think you could be in a lot of trouble next season and potentially be getting relegated. Not pointing any fingers at anybody here, but there's some sides, big sides, that are in a hell of a lot of trouble. Middlesbrough probably biggest underachievers at season for me, realistically. Millwall very unlucky, same as Blackburn. West Brom big underachievers and all. But the playoffs are Championship, Bristol City and Sheffield United, and Sunderland and Coventry. We'll be doing watch-alongs for them as always, so I'll see you then for that. But the 2 promoted sides, both on 100, Burnley, and your title winners with a goal difference of 65 is Leeds. Oh, you get 1 year and then you're coming back down. League One. Honestly, there's a whole lot of nothing going on in this league because we knew most of it anyway. There were only one thing to play for. Blackpool have bet Bristol Rovers 4-1. Niall Ennis is a baller, mate, honestly. Blackpool need to keep him if they can. If not, get into Reds. Happy days. And Bristol Rovers have gone down with a whimper. Like, embarrassing end to season. Them defenders should never be paid again. Honestly. Get do it paper round. Bolton 1, Stevenage 1. Again, a very flat, boring end to season. Cambridge 1, Birmingham 2 is where we'll start properly. Clara scored his first goal for Birmingham, and it's a cross into the top corner. Couldn't write it. That's your player at you, everybody. Don't listen to what EFL have told you, or League One, whoever it is, whether the organisation are. This is why I don't get invited to anything, because I say stuff like this. Clara is your player at you. One of the best centre-halves I've ever seen in this division. One of the best players I've ever seen in this division. Absolute Rolls Royce for a player. Birmingham have come down. Whoever said they were in for a shock is genuinely like... start watching something else, mate, because these were destined to piss league as soon as they set foot in it. And not because they're a big club, because that means absolutely nothing. Because they spent 30 million quid. Let's call it what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. You spent a lot of money, you've got promoted. And I'm not having a dig at you for spending money before you get your knickers in a twist. Birmingham have done very, very well. They've got 111 points. They've broken League One record. They've broken EFL record. With these owners in charge, they will never step foot in this division again. Good on them. And Cambridge are relegated. Moving on. Charlton 3, Burton 1. Decent little win heading into playoffs. Huddersfield 1, Leyton Orient 4. These are so crap, man. Oh, my goodness me. Look at this form. Like, I'm not even bothered about what Huddersfield have done here, like, realistically. But that's beyond sad. They're conceding so many goals and all. Need a big old shake-up, these, in summer. They need to get that chuffing Cartwright out, whatever his name is. He's a donkey, and you can tell it from a mile off. I don't even support these. They never really helped in centre either, because defender, I forgot who it is now, just lays him through, one-on-one. Leyton Orient, like in first 2 minutes. They never really get rid of a chance, did they? It's a shit-hot end of season, though, for Leyton Orient. They've got in, by the way, in case anybody didn't know. The only thing that they were to play for today were either Leyton Orient or Reading to get into playoffs in 6 months last day. That was the only thing they were to play for. Leyton Orient coming into it with some best form ever, heading into like a playoff campaign, especially in League One. 6 wins on bounce, a hell of a lot of goals. Still think they need to change up a little bit defensively. And I'm not going to speak about who my favourites are and all this stuff, but they're in a really, really good spot. Let's put it that way. They're going to be playing Stockport in playoffs. These 2 games, mate, Stockport versus Leyton Orient and then Charlton versus Wickham. This is going to be an all-timer. I'm feeling it. That's going to be really good. Huddersfield, same as Barnsley and Bolton. Massive underachievers this season. Next year, you need a big old check-up in summer. But I'm worried for him a little bit because there's not even like any sort of direction that it's going in. You've got nothing to cling on to. You've got some good players like Taylor stood up front. But I've got no idea the direction these are going in. Whereas you can sort of see some things with Barnsley and Bolton. Maybe not so much in Bolton's performances, but mainly the manager and the being there and done it aspect. And he got promoted with Plymouth over one of the best League One teams, if not best League One team ever in Ipswich. So you can see there's something coming, I think, with Barnsley and Bolton. Huddersfield, I don't see anything at the minute, unfortunately. Lincoln 0, Wrexham 2. Wrexham already promoted before. This means nothing. Mansfield 3, Exeter 0. To be fair, Mansfield have gone about last couple of games quite well because I do think they're in trouble next season regardless. But same as Exeter. So Northampton won a piece with Wigan. And then the last game that we're actually going to look at here, to be fair, we'll look at the bottom one. But Reading 2, Barnsley 4. And I'm not doing it because I'm a Barnsley fan. Reading are obviously saved. So that's the main thing. Reading have got a club. And realistically, nothing else matters. Because yeah, you finished 7th and you've not got into playoffs. But you could have been starting next season at 12th tier. So at least you've got a club. You've got an owner now. We'll see what it's about, but it can't get worse, can it? So Reading have got a decent owner. Or definitely better than the last one. And a solid foundation there to build on. I think their attendances next year, Reading, might be nuts. I think they might push like 15, 16k Reading next year, just because of like the uplift, like the weight lifted off your shoulder from having that absolute run tighty club. Who cares about this result? You know what I mean? Long term, who cares, mate? I'll tell you who cares, actually. Me cares. Me cares. This guy right here, me cares. Because you are looking at the 25-26 League One title winners, baby. Urian's Tricky Reds. Holy shit, we're going up. We're going all the way. Felt like I were having some eclipsical moment. It's not even a word. I felt like all the stars were aligning when I was seeing like these scores coming, and I was just seeing goal. Reading are really, really good at home as well. By the way, oh, they lost the last one, but like, look at this. They don't lose loads of games. You know what I mean? They don't concede loads of goals either. Before this game, 53 goals, and the new Ren's Tricky Reds come into town. Oh my god. Oh goodness me. We've got a right back stood on wing. We've got another right back stood in middle. We've got worst football that club's ever seen with a 7 match rating. As defenders are still shit, don't get me wrong. And thank God I'll never see Arthur again. Half a players on this list. But Yugi Urian, right tools, mate. Oh my God! Rotherham 2, Peterborough 1. Shrewsbury 1, Crawley 2. The battle of the relegation places. The battle to finish last, even though Shrewsbury have already got that one ticked off. I do think, in fact, I'll look at it and we'll talk about it. Give me a minute, guys. And then Wycombe 1, Stockport 3. Let me just get this up. So, Shrewsbury's finished last. Shrewsbury, Cambridge, Bristol Rovers and Crawley are all relegated. That were all done before this game even started. There were nothing up line down here regardless. Crawley have finished a point out. Very, very unlucky. I think Lindsay, he's going to have mixed feelings about himself because he left them halfway through to go to MK Dons, got sacked from there and then come back. He's made for Crawley. I think they're in a decent spot to come back up. He got promoted with a shite squad in first place from League 2. Maybe he can do it again. Why not? Bristol Rovers, they're an absolute mess. I think they need a serious disciplinarian to come in as gaffer. I think Darryl Clark he's been there before. He's got promoted in before. I think Darryl Clark is the man. Seriously, go and get him. Go and get your man's back. I like him, Daz. Cambridge relegated as well. If they can keep Neil Harris, they might come straight back up. But it's quite a tough ask. Same with Shrewsbury. I think they're relying on John Marquis to stay, which I don't think he will, to be honest. I think he'll come to another League 2 team. But based on likelihood to come back up again, I would say Shrewsbury last, then Cambridge, then Crawley, then Bristol Rovers. I think Bristol Rovers have got the infrastructure and the fan base behind them to probably bounce straight back with a half decent manager if they get one. Maybe it is Darryl Clark, maybe it's not. But similar to Port Vale, decent sized club. They've got fans there. They've got like the core of a squad is all right for the most part. Well, the defence isn't, but other than that, I think they could come straight back up in autos, personally. They're by Port Vale for next year. Crawley, I think, could do it as well, to be honest. Burton have completed Great Escape. They've got out. And then looking at top end, like we said, Barnsley, Huddersfield and Bolton specifically. Horrendous years. Like, such bad seasons. Reading, yeah, they've lost and missed out on last day, but at least they've got a club to support next season. Leighton Orient versus Stockport in playoffs, and then Charlton versus Wycombe. Again, we'll be doing watch-alongs for both of them. But Wrexham are promoted with 92 points, and Birmingham have set a points record in League One and EFL in general. One that I don't think will ever be broken, to be honest. Unless they plot Man City in like League 2 or something, then who knows. But I don't think any real side is going to beat that ever again. They've dropped points in 12 games all year, and that's it. Only 3 losses. 34 wins, 84 goals, a 53 goal difference. Never got out of first gear once. Should slide straight into top half at Championship with ease, realistically. I think they'll finish in top 6. Wrexham, I think, will be on same path, not far behind. I think Wrexham will finish mid-table, top half. Anybody saying that they think they'll come straight back down, you get ready. League 1, been a blast. What a shit year. And then League 2, we'll fly through these really quickly. Accrington Stanley lost 1-0 at home to Chesterfield, which means Chesterfield get into playoffs on last day. We'll be doing watch-alongs for these as well. Get ready. But the second fixture on this list, and easily the most important and influential, Bradford 1, Fleetwood 0. Oh my God. This were 0-0 until 96th minute. As you'll see by this, Walsall won as well. Walsall won 1-0 away at Crewe. So Walsall were in automatic promotion spots up until the 96th minute when Sarkovic scored. They paused twice, I think, in like 5-10 minutes leading up to this. Fleetwood were just sitting further and further back. And I'm being serious right now. I think they're the best limbs I've ever seen in my entire life from Bradford. They were absolutely mental. I'm surprised there were no like mini earthquake. They're all pitch invading. It's honestly the best thing I've ever seen. It's what football's about. They're all pitch invading, and then they got them all off pitch again. And then fans thought the ref had blown his whistle, so they're on again. That's why it says 90 plus 17, because ref took them off pitch for about 10 minutes just to play an extra minute or whatever it were. So there were 3 pitch invasions, but Bradford finally got promoted. Honestly, it's about time. Like, I've got no affiliation to Bradford. I don't care. Yeah, they're a Yorkshire side, but I don't like or dislike them. I couldn't give flying monkey, to be honest. But it's about time they got out of this league. You know, a club as big as Bradford are, the revenue is one at biggest, but they're not like, they're just everything that's right with football. They make tickets affordable. They get big attendances because of it. Good on them. I'm glad they're promoted. I honestly think they needed to be able to keep like Poynton, for example. Shepherd's coming back to town and he's going to be starting next season, so don't get your hopes up with that one. But Poynton, just keeping it a young'un like that that's from Bradford, I think is very important. They might have gone up through playoffs regardless, even if they didn't. But this is really, this is big for Bradford, it is. I don't think they'll be in trouble next season, let's put it that way. Bromley won 3-0. Michael Cheek just scores goals, that's what he does. Salford drew 2 apiece away at Carlisle, which means that Salford were in playoffs before game started, but that draw and Chesterfield's win means that Salford drop out and Chesterfield get in there. You tin pot shitbags. Colchester 0, Barrow 0. If Colchester had won, they had a chance of getting into playoffs, but 0-0 means that they're just stuck in League 2 for another season. Crewe 0, Walsall 1. Walsall have won once since February, and that were it. They needed 1 point in any other game to get promoted automatically. It's the biggest bottle job I've literally ever seen with my own 2 eyes. Since I've become a conscious being at like 8 years old, I don't think I've seen a bigger bottle job than this. Grimsby 0, Wimbledon 1. The winner of this got into playoffs. And Wimbledon have done a job there to go up to Grimsby and do it. I'm gutted from a selfish point of view because I want to do Grimsby away. I want it to be as much of a northern shithole league as possible, League 1 next year, and it's shaping up nicely anyway. So I'm gutted for Grimsby, but Wimbledon, I'll take a day out in London, I'm not bothered. Morecambe 1, Harrogate 2 don't mean anything, same as Newport, Tranmere. This is the other one that I want to look at quickly. Notts County 1, Donny 2, and also the Port Vale game, we'll look at that at the same time, sort of. Rob Street scored twice for Donny. I think he's on loan from Lincoln. He is. 11 goals in 22 since he joined in January. I think he's signed a new contract at Lincoln. I think. But if not, I could see Donny going in for him. But if he has signed a new contract at Lincoln, they will not let that fella go out on loan. He'll be starting next season for Lincoln up front. Jatta scored late on, but it weren't enough. Notts County, if they'd have won this game anyway, they wouldn't have got in. They had chance to before, like it was possible before. But Walsall and Bradford both winning means that Notts County couldn't have done anything anyway. But they've got playoffs secured, so they will be playing Wimbledon in there. But your league winners are Donny. Port Vale lost at home to Gillingham, but again, even if they'd have won, it wouldn't have mean anything. Donny have gone to Notts County, a very hard place to go. They've finished 6th for a reason in playoffs. They've got some really good forwards in Jatta and McGoldrick, and they've won league as well. And good on them, because I've got no qualms with Donny or Bradford or Rotherham or any of these sort of sides. Mate, good on them. Yorkshire, get them up. Cheap away day next year. Sorted. Now give me Molyneux. I'll keep saying it. And then finally, Swindon 0, MK Dons 0, couldn't care less. So looking at League 2, Morecambe relegated dead last straight to non-league. Same as Carlisle. I thought they'd have a good go at Carlisle, but obviously not. Newport, Accrington Stanley, Tranmere. All these sides have all finished fairly comfortably away from it anyway. But Colchester, Grimsby miss out on playoffs. Salford drop out at playoffs on last day, meaning Chesterfield get in. Go on, Chesney! So Chesterfield play Walsall and Notts County play Wimbledon. And Bradford have been promoted on last day, in last minute. In 96th minute, they've been promoted. Port Vale promoted as well, but your League 2 title winners are Donny. And that, my brothers and sisters, is that. Absolute pleasure. God, what a slog. Absolute pleasure. Thank you guys for watching these videos. Make sure you like and subscribe if you do enjoy, please. It does help me out a lot. Just because these are done, don't mean season's done, baby. There's going to be a lot of content coming on this channel. Thank you as always. Love you all. I'll see you in a bit. Goodbye.
I say I'm a man. Yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying as a right good looker. I say up that. Show us bit it.